So I'm sure you're fully aware, but there will be a lot of characters who will not be able to become a playable character for Super Smash Bros. And for the up-and-coming Smash Ultimate, there are already quite a number of characters that are deconfirmed. We'll be covering today's episode on one of those characters, so let's get right into it. I know most people are rooting for Pokemon like Decidueye or Incineroar to be in Smash, but I was a part of the minority that really wanted Mimikyu as the next Pokemon Smash rep. So of course, when it was revealed to be a Pokeball item... Oh, damn it! Mimikyu deconfirmed! I'm upset.
Oh well, Mimikyu not confirmed.
Man, and all that time we were trying to make Moveset.
That said, a special thanks to my buddy Realmwars for helping me come up with this moveset. So to give a brief synopsis on Mimikyu for those who really don't play Pokemon or are just some filthy Gen 1ers, Mimikyu was introduced to the Pokemon series come Generation 7, the generation that introduced Alola and Pokemon Sun and Moon. Its typing is Ghost and Fairy, and it's a Pokemon that was made to be a type of rival to the ever-popular Pokemon Pikachu, so to speak. We've never seen its true body. Good thing too, since apparently you're doomed to a cruel death if you do. On top of that, it's actually very sensitive to light, which is why it wears the cloth. But to kill two birds with one stone, it decided to make its cloth in the design of a Pikachu for the sake of attention. It recognizes that Pikachu is a very popular Pokemon, so it tries to make itself look like Pikachu in hopes that people will love it just as much as they love Pikachu. The poor little guy just wants friends is all. Unfortunately, this plan is a bit of a double-edged sword, as, somehow, people mistake Mimikyu for Pikachu all the time at first glance. This leads to Mimikyu having large resentment for Pikachu. Mimikyu being in Smash I don't think will help too much for that though, since mechanically, it'll probably be very similar to Pikachu. Very quick, with a lot of hard-hitting attacks, but easy to KO. It would only have 2 jumps with no additional movement mechanics. With that said, let's get right into its attacks. In terms of basic attacks, Mimikyu only has 4 prominent means of attacking, with the head part of the cloth, its whole body, the club that it uses as a tail, and its most deadly weapons, its claws. Its jabs would include its claws. It would be a quick 1-2 hit claw swipe from each claw one at a time, and they would actually have some pretty long reach. Mimikyu's claws are actually deceptively long, so any attack that includes its arms could give Mimikyu incredible range. Unfortunately for Mimikyu, its dash attack would probably end up being just like Pikachu's, as a lunging tackle where it would put its full body into the attack. But I also see this being much stronger than Pikachu's with pretty good KOing power. Its side tilt would be a quick long reach stab from one of its claws that can be angled. Its up tilt can be a quick overhead clap that would do a fair amount of knockback, and its down tilt can be a quick low to the ground claw sweep that can cause tripping. For its side smash, it could use its tail club. It would grab the club and wind up as it charges, then would do a fast, long-reaching horizontal swing directly in front of it, with the sweet spot being on the club, obviously. Its up smash could be a quick stab with both claws directly up, similar to Corrin's up smash, and its down smash could have it swing both arms opposite sides wildly, kind of like what it does in Pokken Tournament when it's used as an assist. For its neutral air, it would spin in a few angled 360 circles with its claws out, similar to Zelda's neutral air. Its forward air could be a quick forward claw slash, similar to Mewtwo's forward air, just with much longer reach. Its back air would have it swing its tail club vertically from up to down, being capable of spiking if its sweet spot's in the tip of the tail. Its up air would be a quick headbutt with the cloth from back to forth, similar to Ness's up air, and the down air would have it fly immediately down with its claws out to the sides, causing a spike if it connects on the sweet spot, similar to Greninja's down air. This would be in reference to how it pounces foes from above during the animation of Let's Snuggle Forever. And that's what I have in mind for its basic attacks. Now for its grabs. Mimikyu's grab range would be amazing with those long arms, so I can see it having a very strong grab game going for it. For its pummel, it would just smack the foe with its Pika head. The forward throw would be an overhead toss. Its back throw would be a lot more deadly though, having it pull the foe underneath the cloth, then spitting them out from the opposite end, taking big damage in the small time the foe is underneath. Its up throw could have it just throwing the foe upwards, and its down throw would be the scariest, as it would also have it pull the foe under, but this time beating them up for a bit before spitting them back out the front. A dumbed down version of its exclusive Z move, Let's Snuggle Forever. Of course, like all playable Pokemon in Smash Bros., its special attacks would be based off of the actual moves that it can learn in the Pokemon games. I can see its neutral special being the Grass-type attack, Wood Hammer, like Dedede's Jet Hammer or Luigi's Green Missile. It would pick up its tail club and immediately begin charging it as you hold the button down. As it charges, the club would glow a purple aura and slightly grow, like how it does in the Sun and Moon anime. Then, upon releasing the B button, it would slam that club down overhead vertically directly in front of itself, with the power and range of the attack varying depending on how long you charged it for. Though very slowly, Mimikyu can still move, jump, and even turn around while charging, but the attack will automatically activate once it reaches its full charge, which takes about 5 seconds. Mimikyu will also take damage if it lands a hit on a foe with the attack, just like how the user takes recoil damage from using Wood Hammer in the Pokemon games. The damage will vary depending on how long you charged it for. For its side special, I really need to give full credit to Realm Wars for thinking of this one, cause it's such a good idea. I originally just thought of giving it Shadow Ball to use as a long-range projectile, but it already does have a pretty good long-range games with most of its attacks, so that seemed a little broken. So I like Brian's idea way more, and that would be making his side special the attack Thief. Thief in the Pokemon games is a weak Dark-type attack that will allow the user to steal a Hell item from its foe if the user itself isn't already holding an item. For Smash, it could be a quick hooking Claw Slash that itself could just be a decent attack at best, but if the foe is holding an item when Mimikyu uses it on them, Mimikyu will actually take the item and immediately be holding it itself. But this would only work if Mimikyu is empty-handed when it uses it, just like how the attack works in the main games. This attack could also be used to catch items that are mid-air or thrown. Watch out, Peach and Diddy users. For its up air, I had some difficulty on this one. I want to stick with giving Mimikyu moves that I can actually learn in the main Pokemon games, but there really aren't any attacks that naturally give it height. Then again, the other Smash Pokemon characters are known for having improvised Pokemon attacks for up Bs that don't normally work the way they do in-game. Pikachu's Quick Attack, Lucario's Extreme Speed, especially Greninja's Hydro Pump come to mind. So for Mimikyu, I'll have to do the same thing. I thought about just letting it fly with Will-O-Wisp or something, since it is a Ghost type, and most Ghost typed Pokemon are naturally able to float. But Mimikyu seems to be the exception. It can't naturally fly. And no, Ace Rolla's Mimikyu from the Sun and Moon anime doesn't count, as apparently this Mimikyu is actually dead, so that's how it's able to fly. Yeah, I don't get it either, and I'm not going to try to understand it. Just know that naturally Mimikyu cannot fly. So for its up B, all I could really think of for it is to just have a form of Shadow Sneak, but it would work much differently than how Greninja's Shadow Sneak would work. The player would press up B, but then hold the B button down. Mimikyu would then slow down a bit mid-air, and a shadowy arrow-type signifier would appear that can be aimed by the controller input. Mimikyu would then quickly slide across the shadow in the direction that the shadow is pointing. Greninja's Shadow Sneak was made in a way that was reminiscent of it being a ninja, so it doesn't make sense that Mimikyu's would work in the same way, but instead in a way that makes homage to its creepy phantom-like nature. And finally, for Mimikyu's down B, it would be a counter-attack in the form of the fairy-type move, Play Rough. Mimikyu will be shaking a little bit, like it does in the Pokemon games when it uses certain moves, and if it gets hit during that animation, it would immediately begin beating up the foe that hit it with a large cartoony dust cloud of attacks, looking just like how it does in the Pokemon games, and it would end with a strong final launching attack on the opponent. The attack would also be a type of draw-in attack, meaning that if there are any foes that are unlucky enough to be too close, or dumb enough to get too close while the dust cloud attacking is going on, they'd be caught into the attack as well. Now, with all the attacks out of the way, we need to move on to the part that helps a Smash character be known as a unique Smash character, and that would be the gimmick. should be fairly obvious to most everyone who knows even an inkling about Mimikyu, but its gimmick would involve its only ability that it gets in Pokemon, and that's its disguise. In the main game, disguise works like a built-in shield for Mimikyu that will take one hit of any and all direct damage attacking from Mimikyu, allowing it to not lose any health for one attack. But after getting hit once, the disguise breaks, and then Mimikyu takes damage normally afterwards. It's also a once per battle only ability, and the disguise can't be used afterwards until the battle ends and the next battle begins. For Smash, some innovations were needed. It would work in a similar way where Mimikyu will start with a disguise, but it can be broken. While the disguise is up, Mimikyu would take half damage from all attacks, and it wouldn't be launched as far compared to others. When the disguise is broken, it's signified by the Pikachu head of the cloth drooping to the side, just like it looks in the main games when it's broken. The disguise can be broken in one of two ways. Either Mimikyu needs to take a certain amount of damage, let's say around 50 to 60%. The other means is if it's hit by a very strong attack. An attack that can do, let's say, about 18 to 22% of damage with one hit. So attacks like Ganondorf's Warlock Punch, or Ridley's ridiculous Tail Stab attack that does like 50% of damage when sweet spotted. A chunk of the roster's fully charged Smash attack should get the job done as well. While Mimikyu's disguise is broken, it would take 1.5 times the normal amount of damage, and it would be launched a little bit farther than normal, but it would actually also gain a small amount of running speed, as if it were in a small panic since its disguise is broken. The disguise will be fixed each time it's KO'd. And that does it for the gimmicks. Now for the big one. I won't even draw this out. We all know what Mimikyu's final smash would be. Mimikyu's exclusive Z move introduced in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Let's Snuggle Forever. A move that requires Mimikyu to be holding the Z Crystal Mimikyu Z, and to also know the move Play Rough, which, hey, look at that, this one does. It would be a simple timed cinematic final smash where upon activation, Mimikyu would charge straight forward, anyone hit by it will be pulled into the smash, which would play out exactly like it does in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. Now for some aesthetics for Mimikyu, starting with the alternate colors. I thought about just having Mimikyu's colors be references to other ghost or fairy type Pokemon, but that's boring, so I thought of something a little more interesting. Since Mimikyu is covering itself with a fabric, a non-natural substance, that means it can have literally anything on it. So I thought about having its colors based on the outfits of various characters from the Sun and Moon series. The first alt could have white and blue stripes, based on the default shirt worn by the male character in Sun and Moon. The second could be paired with light pink and yellow flower shapes with a little bow on top, in reference to the shirt worn by the female character of Sun and Moon. A basic light blue color with white stripes on the edges, and a little orange string tie underneath the head's chin, based on the shirt worn by the male character of Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. An orange color with hibiscus flowers, with its base rounded like a flower, based on the shirt worn by the female character in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. A light green color with a large orange flower shape and white circular lines, based on the shirt worn by Samson Oak, Professor Oak's cousin. A black and navy blue patchwork color with a gold bracelet on the left ear, based on the outfit worn by the Ghost Trials captain Acerola, used in reference to Mimikyu's ghost type and because Mimikyu is the totem Pokemon of her trial. And finally, a pure white color with green and pink splotches on it, based on the shirt worn by the Fairy Type Trials captain, Mina, used in reference to Mimikyu's fairy typing. I was tempted to use the shiny color, but it's a little dull, so I opted not to. For Mimikyu's stage entrance, just like almost all other Pokemon in Smash, it would be released from a Pokeball thrown at the stage. But just to make it a little more interesting, let's say it's released from a different type of ball, like a Dusk Ball or a Luxury Ball. For its taunts, The first would have it glow a creepy aura with its eyes glowing. Its second taunt would have it look around with the Pikachu head. And its third taunt would have its Pikachu head droop over and it would push it back into place. This taunt would change if its disguise was broken. Mimikyu would attempt to push its head back up, it won't work, and it would make sad sounds, in reference to one of its Pokédex entries where it gets sad whenever the disguise breaks. Aww. And finally, the victory poses. Its first would have it jump up and down excited, like it does when it's excited in Pokemon Refresh. Its second would have it walking away from the screen, and as the camera gets close, it quickly turns around with its glowing eyes and hisses, which is where the screen and announcer would splash its name. Then it would just walk off screen. And for its final pose, the screen would start in a pure darkness. You'd see Mimikyu's glowing eyes before the camera screen just drops to the ground, and the end shot shows Mimikyu's empty disguise just laying on the ground. Whenever Mimikyu wins, there's a chance he will murder you all. And that does it for Mimikyu! Hopefully this video gives you folks an idea that Mimikyu is just as credible of a Smash fighter as Decidueye or Incineroar. It's a shame it's already deconfirmed for Ultimate, but it's fine. I know for a fact that whatever the final roster will be, it's going to be amazing, and I know I'm going to be very happy about it. If you'd like to see one of your favorite characters get a moveset for Smash, leave a comment down below, or let me know on Twitter at BrawlFan1 on Twitch. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care!